Hello and welcome back to the EmpowerHer Business Accelerator podcast. I am still your host, Philippa, and today we're wrapping up our series on setting business goals with a special Q&A episode. Over the past few weeks, we've talked about how to set SMART goals, creating long-term and short-term plans, and breaking down priorities into actionable steps. So today I'm going to be answering some of the most common questions female entrepreneurs have when it comes to setting and achieving their business goals. Now, I want to take a moment to just wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope your holiday is filled with love, laughter, and all the warmth that comes from spending time with family and friends. As a busy female entrepreneur, we deserve a little time to relax and soak in the moments that matter most. So take this time to recharge and enjoy every minute of the weekend. And if you are grieving the loss of a loved one, I feel you as well. So just my prayers go up to you for all the love, comfort, and support that you need during this holiday season. We all need it. Here's a quick reminder. The EmpowerHer program is launching a group session in January 2025. And if you sign up by Cyber Monday on December 2nd, you're going to receive 15% off the program. You can check out the details in the show notes. And if you want to chat more about the program, I'm offering a free 1-hour session to answer any questions you may have. Okay? Hey, one more thing before we get started. It is the holiday season, and I'm so excited to share something special with you. As a huge thank you for being part of this amazing community of female entrepreneurs, I'm running a holiday giveaway just for you. From November 15th to December 15th, you have the chance to win one of 2 stacks of incredible books that I've personally chosen to help you kick off 2024 with inspiration, insight, and practical strategies. These books are a combination of powerful resources on copywriting and entrepreneurial motivation, 2 key areas that can make a big difference as you grow your business. Now, I'm going to be sharing all the details about which books are included in the show notes, but just to give you a sneak peek, these books will help you write better marketing content and stay motivated on your entrepreneurial journey. Who doesn't need a little extra push when it comes to those 2 areas, right? Now, entering is super easy. Here's what you need to do. I want you to subscribe to the EmpowerHer podcast wherever you're listening to it if you already haven't done so. Next, you're going to share your best business growth tip on my Instagram or LinkedIn giveaway post. Either one of those are fine. And then you want to tag 3 fellow female entrepreneurs you think would benefit from these books or just need a little inspiration for the holiday season. And here's the best part. If you sign up for my EmpowerHer group session launching in January, you'll get a bonus entry to double your chances of winning. Now, not just one bonus entry, I'm going to give you 10 bonus entries just for signing up for the group session. Guys, you can't miss out. All right, so I'm going to be picking 2 lucky winners and announcing them on December 18th, just in time to add some extra holiday joy to your gift baskets. So head over to the show notes for more details, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on LinkedIn for the update and for when the post goes live so you can leave a comment. Let's end the strong together and get ready to level up in 2025. So now let's get into your questions. We're going to start off with the first one I have. Hopefully, I think they're staying in order of what the information was I presented to you. So first question, how do I stay motivated and on track when things aren't going according to plan? I love this question because it happens so often in our personal life and our business life. So a lot of this, my answers is going to apply not just to your business plans or business goals, but it's also going to apply to any goals that you set. So I have 4 points to touch on in this response. First is revisiting your why. Remind yourself why you set the goal in the first place. You want to reconnect with the bigger vision and purpose behind your goal, and doing that's going to reignite your motivation, especially during tough times. Why did you do this? Why do you want to accomplish this? And it's possible that if things are waning, that your why has changed. And if that's the case, you need to adjust your goals, and that's fine. But you still want to have something you're moving towards. The next thing you want to do in this step 2 is try breaking it down. If you're feeling overwhelmed or stuck, break your goals into smaller, more manageable steps. Tackling small wins can help you build momentum and regain your focus. Another thing you want to consider is your flexibility. It's okay to adjust your goals, like I was mentioning, when things don't go as planned or it's no longer lining up and maybe not the goal you thought it was. Be flexible. Sometimes setbacks require a change in strategy, not a complete abandonment of your goal. So don't take setbacks as a roadblock or a stop all. It's sometimes you just need to pivot and have a moment of creativity and say, okay, how can I me forward with this different setback in my way. All right. And then the other thing I've mentioned before, I keep promoting it as much as I can, is you want to make sure you're celebrating your progress. Goals can begin to feel daunting and feel like you're not making motivation sometimes, especially if it's a large goal that's going to take time. So if you create for yourself milestones along the way, you want to celebrate the progress you've made. Even if you're not exactly where you expect it to be, still celebrate what you have accomplished. You are doing big things, and celebrating that, you deserve that celebration, and it's going to keep you positive and motivated along the way. So celebration is just key for so many reasons. The next question I have, this is another good one, is how do I set realistic goals when my business is still in its very early stages? Many of the women I serve, we're talking 3 to 5 years in business. And for some people, especially experienced entrepreneurs, that's a lot of time, and your business may be thriving. If this is your first business you ever started, 3 to 5 years is still very young in terms of business growth. You've learned a lot, you've accomplished a lot, but I still consider it very early stages. So here's what we can do. First, again, 4 points to include on this one. First is to focus on what you can control. In the early stages of your business, set goals that are within your control, like growing your network, improving on your skills, or launching a specific product or service. You want to avoid setting goals based solely on external factors like revenue targets that may fluctuate unpredictably. We love to set revenue goals, and I feel like sometimes it is motivational, but we cannot, as much as we go out there and network, we can't force people to buy from us. And really, our revenue goals are based off of people actually buying from us. And that's an external factor. And so when you're first starting, you want to get that momentum and get that confidence by setting goals that you have full control over. All right, the next thing you want to consider is setting incremental goals. Instead of focusing solely on long-term, big picture goals, break them down into short-term. That's what I've been talking about, incremental steps that are achievable and help you build momentum. And so, if we just leave it at the 10-year big vision and don't break it down, we never know really, are we achieving what we need to at the pace and momentum we need to? But once you start breaking it down and creating those milestones, it makes it so much more easier and manageable and realistic. All right, SMART goals. That's my next point on this question. Use the SMART goal framework. I talked about this in the first episode of this series. Doing so, it's going to help ensure your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This will give you clarity and keep you grounded as you grow. Right? And then the last thing for this question is prioritizing learning and growth. In the early stages, a lot of your goals might focus on learning that, like for example, mastering a new marketing platform or gaining a certain number of new clients. It's not perfectly, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with setting growth goals and learning goals. Each small milestone you hit, again, is going to help lay the foundation for bigger success down the road. I consider like every new business like an infant. And if you know the growth of an infant, if you either had one or watched an infant grow, infants grow in up to 5 years, like infants to babies to toddlers. There's so much growth and development happening in those first 5 years. And a lot of the growth and development and emotional development that they occur during those first 5 years set the stage for the rest of their lives. I feel like it's the same for our businesses. So we really need to spend as much time as we can learning and developing our business before we focus on how much revenue and growth we're having, as priorities. Still tracking and knowing our revenue and our profits is important, but it shouldn't be the priority and what sets the tone for a quote unquote success for us. All right, so the last question I have that I want to address today is, how do I handle feeling overwhelmed when I have too many goals? I love this question, and that's something that I preach on too. I think I mentioned it on one of the episodes, is having too many goals, I feel like stretches you too thin. All right, so here are my 4 points on this one. First is prioritize. You want to take a step back and identify the most important goals that will move the needle forward for your business. Focus on 1 to 2 key priorities at a time, rather than spreading yourself too thin and across too many areas. I can't stress that enough. Another point to this is also time blocking. Use time blocking to dedicate specific periods of your day or week to focus slowly on one task or goal at a time. This helps reduce overwhelm and it really improves productivity in that area. And so reducing distraction, turning off notifications, and really just head to book or head to paper, whatever it is that you're doing, just focusing on that task makes a tremendous amount of progress. We also want to consider delegating or outsourcing. If it's possible, you want to delegate some of the tasks to your team or consider outsourcing tasks that don't require your personal attention. This is not only going to make progress toward your goals, but it will free up your time to focus on high impact activities. One of the decisions I made this year was to hire a virtual assistant. I keep saying virtual assistant, sounds weird, even though she is, but she's also local. So it's like, she's not really virtual because I see her all the time, but it's, it's an assistant for my business who's not a staff. She's a contractor, but hiring her and having her delegate a lot of the tasks that I usually do, it has freed up so much time for me to make so much more progress toward my business. And it's been a godsend, and it is very affordable. So it's sometimes virtual assistants are going to be much more affordable than you think they are. You don't need them to be like 10, 15 hours a week. I think she works for me maybe 8 hours a month. But still the amount that she's doing for me during those 8 hours is tremendous and makes such a big impact for me. And then the last point I have on this is, and I love this, we don't talk about this enough sometimes, is embrace the 80-20 rule. The Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule, suggests that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. So you want to focus on those few high impact tasks that drive the most results, and don't let go of tasks that aren't contributing to your progress. That is, feeling overwhelmed is because sometimes we put on too much on ourselves, or we put on stuff on ourselves that aren't priority or aren't really necessary. So we can if we can accurately reflect on our time, maybe do a 2 or 3 weeks of time tracking where you're marking down every 15 minutes where you're spending your time, and then step back at the end of 3 weeks and look at your time. Where did you spend your time? What were you doing? What did you accomplish? And what impact did your actions make on your business? Then you can start to see where your 80% of your time is spent doing stuff that's like, and then 20% of your time is doing stuff that makes the most impact. How can we get that? How can we make the most of that 20%? How can we get some of that 80% of stuff that you're doing to somebody else, like a virtual assistant, and free you up to focus on those high impact tasks? All right. Okay, so those are the questions I have for today. Thank you for tuning in to this special Q&A episode, and I really do hope those answers have given you some helpful insight into setting and achieving your business goals. Remember, setting goals is just the beginning. Staying flexible, focused, and motivated is what makes a difference along the way. So next month, we're going to be diving into a new topic. We're going to be talking about content pillars, content types, and content planning. So 3 different topics, but all related, that I feel like are very important to making progress towards coming up with your overall marketing, your content marketing strategy. And this is going to be just in time to help you map out your content strategy for 2025. So you won't want to miss it. And be sure to tune in for the entire series, okay? And once again, if you want to take advantage of the 15% discount for the Empower Her Power session or the group session launching in January, don't wait. You want to sign up by Cyber Monday, December 2nd. That is just next week, Monday. If you'd like to learn more about the program first, or you have any questions, I am offering a free 1-hour session with me personally where we can just chat one-on-one, and we'll just go through the program, make sure it's the right fit for you. The link is in the show notes for that as well. So until next time, keep shining, and remember, successful businesses are built on strong, actionable goals. So get out there and start getting your big visions, breaking it down into actionable goals, and making progress. Have a great week.